In the headlines, President Tinubu swears in Akume as SGF. World Bank says Nigeria's economic growth is slow in reducing poverty. On the foreign scene, Sierra Leone and Algeria elected non-permanent members of the United Nations Security Council representing Africa. And in sports, Nigeria winger Samuel Chukwueze dubbed Best African Player in the La Liga for the 2022-2023 season. I'm Kemi Asheku. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has held his first in Abuja. Some of those present at the meeting include governors of Zamfara, Kano, Taraba, Kogi, Ogun, Nasarawa, Bayelsa, Adamawa, Ebonyi, Lagos, Rivers, Osun, Jigawa, Benue, Taraba, Delta, Enugu, Rivers, Oyo, Plateau, Kebbi, Abia, Imo, and Bauchi states. The deputy governors of Edo and Niger states are representing their governors. Also at the meeting are Vice President Kashim Shettima, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Senator George Akume as the 21st Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF. The former governor of Benue State and immediate past Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs took the oaths of allegiance in office in a ceremony held at the Council Chambers State House in the presence of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Vice President Folorunso Adegoke completes the report.
Bola Tinubu has sworn in Senator George Akume as the new Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, at the Council's chamber. Akume was sworn in at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, on Wednesday. The former Benue State Governor took his oath of allegiance and oath of office at about 11:06 a.m. in the Council's chamber of the Presidential Villa. The event was witnessed by some serving and former governors, Vice President Kashim Shettima and Senate President Ahmed Lawan. Others are Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Eson, and the wife of the new SGF, Mrs. Regina Akume. Speaking to reporters after his inauguration, Akume said it is an honor to be chosen to serve exalted position out of over 200 million Nigerians.
It's a challenge to serve in line with the oath I have taken today, a few minutes ago. I assure Nigerians I will do my best. I will not disappoint the president. We will find fulfillment in my responsibilities as I discharge them in their own interest.
Of exaltation. Out of the many state sites, we know what he has offered in the past many decades for the state and for the nation. We are very confident, too confident, that is also going to deliver, and the nation is going to be proud that our choicest man from the state is selected and sworn in for this great job.
My husband is a very hard working man, very humble, kind, compassionate. He relates with people very well, and I know this time too he will do the best.
The ceremony comes about 5 days after the president had announced the appointment of Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, as Chief of Staff.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has objected to the request by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and his party to tender exhibits from 17 states of the Federation against the election of President Bola Tinubu. The exhibits are mainly EC8.
Anachebe, while introducing the documents, explained that the exhibits were obtained from the custody of INEC. He said the documents was duly certified by the electoral body before releasing them to his clients.
All the evidence for Labour Party is going in smooth. They are all going in smoothly. What is outstanding is quite is getting fewer by the day, except for the ones that INEC has not availed us. For example, one of which is the beavers, access to beavers.
Apart from INEC, which Congress, APC, who were declared winners of the poll, also kicked against the admission of the exhibits. However, in line with the pre-hearing reports and agreements of counsel, reasons for the objection are to be reserved at the address stage of the hearing of the petition. The states where the exhibits were tendered and admitted are Adamawa, Bayelsa, Benue, Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, Ondo, Sokoto, Delta, and Ekiti. Others are Imo, Kaduna, Oyo, Cross River, Edo, Akwa Ibom, and Lagos. That of Ebonyi was put off on the ground that INEC was yet to make the exhibits available to the two petitioners.
To provide the documents that we need for prosecution of our petition, we have gotten some. We have not gotten the others. And we have issued the normal processes to compel them to produce these documents. Once we have them, we proceed. But we're comfortable with the speed at which we are going. And we are paid fully for it.
Breakdown of the exhibit showed that the collated ward results were tendered in 21 local government areas of Adamawa, Bayelsa, Benue, Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, Ondo, Sokoto, and Delta State respectively. Chairman of the court, Justice Haruna Simon Samani, has adjourned further hearing in the petition till June 7th. Akpa Sandra reporting for Global Television.
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has reiterated his position that the management of the fuel subsidy regime in Nigeria has become organized crime that permits the stealing of the country's resources. Obi spoke to reporters on the sidelines of the ongoing hearing of petitions challenging the 25th of February presidential elections at the Presidential Election Tribunal in Abuja. Tessie Otung has the details.
The Labour Party presidential candidate stressed his determination, if elected as the president, to remove the fuel subsidy and introduce a new open and transparent system that carries the people along. He reels that out by using empirical data, saying the PMS purportedly consumed by Nigerians is far more than what is supposed to be when compared to other countries like Pakistan.
I believe it should be removed with conditions, and that condition has to be applied. If I was involved, I would have shown in empirical statistical data how much we are going to save, where we are going to apply it, the gains for the people, so they can, just like I said all throughout my campaign, that I'm going to govern the people by being open, showing them empirically verifiable facts on how the country can be better.
On the conditions precedent to the removal of the subsidy, Obi says he had enumerated them in his manifesto while campaigning for the office of the president. Tessie Otung reporting for Global TV.
Nigerians have called for the arrest and prosecution of the immediate past Minister of Aviation, Adi Sirika, after the managing director of Nigeria Air, Dayo Olumide, disclosed that the aeroplane that landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on the 26th of May 2023 was a chartered airplane from Ethiopia Airlines. Olumide said this while answering questions from lawmakers, adding that it was launched in 2018 and that his own responsibility was to secure an operating certificate for the airline. Sirika, at the Federal Executive Council meeting, had earlier said that the national carrier will begin operations before ex-President Buhari's administration winds down on the 29th of May 2023, despite an order by a federal high court in Lagos restraining Nuhu Musa, Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCA, from issuing an air operator certificate to the proposed airline. Contrary to the minister's claim that the federal government will control 5% equity while a consortium of 3 Nigerian investors, MRS, SACO, and the Nigerian Sovereign Fund will have 46%. Olumide countered that the aircraft did not require a license and other processes as it was hired. We'll take a break now. But we'll let you know that you're watching News Express and Global TV, coming to you live on Star Times Channel 276 from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. You can follow us across social media platforms at Global TV NG. More stories coming your way after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. And now to a bit of business. The World Bank has warned that Nigeria's economic growth is too slow to address the challenge of extreme poverty in the country. Meanwhile, the bank retained its economic growth gross domestic product GDP forecast of 2.8% for Nigeria in 2023, citing challenges of high inflation, foreign exchange shortages, and shortages of bank notes caused by a currency redesign, among other things. The bank downgraded its economic growth forecast for sub-Saharan Africa to 3.2% for 2023 from 3.4% it projected in its April World Economic Outlook. It also projected that global economic growth will slow to 2.1% in 2023 with prospects clouded by financial risks. The World Bank said growth in the three largest sub-Saharan African economies, Nigeria, South Africa, and Angola, slowed down to 2.8% in 2022 and continued to weaken in the first half of this year in Angola and Nigeria, the largest oil producers. The growth momentum has stalled amid lower energy prices and stagnant oil production. The federal government has harmonized investment treaty with the Kingdom of Netherlands for the mutual benefits of both countries. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Evelyn N. Ngige, said this at the first roundtable negotiation on the Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement between the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the government of the Kingdom of Netherlands in Abuja. Evelyn maintained that this step will also boost economic activities and strengthen the confidence of investors for sustainable economic development, saying the continuous collaboration between both countries will impact positively on Nigeria's economy. The House of Representatives has called for a forensic audit of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to determine its assets and liabilities as well as its current market value. The House Ad hoc Committee on NNPCL's assets and liabilities in its report said its findings showed that assets worth 28 trillion naira was unveiled by former President Muhammadu Buhari, but during the transfer, only 26 trillion naira was transferred, leaving a balance of 2 trillion naira unaccounted for. The House of Representatives also recommended that NNPCL should reassess its accounting system. The committee presented its report a week after the Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPCL, Mele Kyari, said the federal government still owed the company 2.8 trillion naira that it had spent on petrol subsidy. The Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, has said that Nigeria has various commodities that could be exported in a bid to grow the country's economy, provide jobs, as well as provide the nation with foreign exchange earnings. Director General of SEC, Lamido Yuguda, in a statement said the agricultural sector in the country is expected to grow significantly, ensuring that agricultural produce is of exportable standards and quality. The Commission is therefore collaborating with the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, to develop standards for commodities. And now on to the foreign scene. Senegal has temporarily closed its consulates abroad following attacks on diplomatic missions in the Bordeaux, Milan, Paris, and New York, among others. The Senegalese Foreign Affairs Ministry in a statement said that the precautionary measure followed a series of aggressions that caused serious damage. It said the consulate in Milan had been particularly hard hit with passport-making machines and identity cards damaged. The closure comes amid political tensions in Senegal following the sentencing of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko last week to 2 years in prison, which led to deadly protests. Italian media reported on Monday that about 40 Sonko supporters had gathered outside the consulate with flags and anti-government signs, breaking in and ransacking the offices before the police intervened. Senegal's foreign ministry says consulate services will resume as soon as material and security conditions allow for it. Sierra Leone and Algeria have been elected non-permanent members of the UN Security Council representing Africa. Sierra Leonean President Julius Maada Bio said it represented unique success as a democratic and peaceful country of resilience that has successfully transitioned from war to peace. Other countries elected into the UN Security Council include Guyana, Republic of Korea, and Slovenia. The five will join Ecuador, Japan, Malta, Mozambique, and Switzerland as non-permanent members of the Council. The new members will take up their seats on the 1st of January and will serve until the 31st of December 2025. The Security Council is composed of 15 countries, including China, France, Russia, the UK, and the US, who are permanent members with the right to veto any resolution. The UN has expressed sadness as another deadly earthquake claims the lives of at least 3 people near the Haitian city of Jeremie, compounding an already life-threatening situation in recent days caused by flooding and landslides. The 5.5 magnitude quake struck in the department of Grand Anse followed torrential rains, which have displaced more than 13,000 people. UN spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric said The Secretary General extends his condolences to the families of the victims, adding that the UN stood ready to work with the Haitian authorities and other partners to help ease the suffering of those impacted by this latest natural disaster. While the World Food Programme WFP said it was already providing immediate assistance to those affected by the massive rainfall over the weekend, providing hot meals to those displaced and mobilizing ready-to-eat rations and dry food. According to news reports, Tuesday's earthquake was the second to strike the area in just 2 days, with a 4.4 magnitude tremor registered on Sunday morning. German police has cracked a human trafficking ring accused of smuggling hundreds of people in inhumane conditions. 6 suspects of the syndicate were arrested in raids across Germany, Romania and Bulgaria. The German Federal Police said the suspects are believed to have trafficked more than 560 people into Germany and more than 300 migrants to Romania. The probe into the ring began after the accounts were collected from Turkey and Syrian nationals in the border regions of Austria, Czech Republic and Poland. 4 of the suspects were arrested in Romania by authorities who were searching properties used to house the migrants. 1 suspect was picked up in Germany and another in Bulgaria during the raids. Investigators said they secured evidence including 3 high-value cars, several mobile phones and cash. Close to 200 officers were involved in the operation, including 130 in Germany alone. And now to sports. 57-year-old Ange Postecoglou has been appointed as new Tottenham manager on a 4-year deal. The appointment of the Australian, who won the domestic treble with Celtic this season, brings to an end Tottenham's coach drought since former coach Antonio Conte left on mutual grounds. Andre will join Spurs officially in the English Premier League on the 1st of July. Nigerian winger Samuel Chukwueze has been dubbed Best African Player in the La Liga for the 2022-2023 season. The winger had a stellar season, registering 13 goals and providing 11 assists across all competitions for Villarreal. Chukwueze, who struggled for game time with the Yellow Submarines at the beginning of last season, picked up form for Villarreal after the arrival of Quick Sentien. Qatar's Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani has submitted a 5th and an upgraded bid for Manchester United, settling a deadline for Friday for final negotiations and hoping to beat Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos in their £6 billion takeover battle. Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe had both earlier this year publicly expressed their interest in taking over the Old Trafford outfit, and it's understood that Sheikh Jassim has made a 5th bid to acquire United. The latest offer is reported to be for full purchase of the club and those involved in it. Sheikh Jassim's bid has indicated this will be the final bid. On the home front, Bendel Insurance Club of Benin will tonight try to replicate the winning ways they started this season with a win in tonight's match day 3 fixture of the ongoing Nigerian Premier League Super 6 playoff against Enyimba Football Club of Aba. A draw or defeat in tonight's clash game could hold their chances of winning the title. Match day 3 will see Bendel Insurance battle Enyimba. Remo Stars lock horns with Sunshine Stars and Lobby Stars dueling it out with Rivers United. As it stands, Enyimba shares the spoils at the top of the log with 4 points from 2 games, same statistics as Rivers United. A win for Rivers or Enyimba in the matches tonight will be pivotal to both teams. As we end the news this evening, here are some of our top stories. We told you President Tinubu has sworn in George Akume as SGF. The World Bank has said Nigeria's economic growth is slow in reducing poverty, while on the foreign scene, Sierra Leone and Algeria have been elected non-permanent members of the United Nations Security Council representing Africa. Lastly, in sports, we informed you Nigerian winger Samuel Chukwueze has been named the Best African Player in La Liga for the 2022-2023 season. And that's it for the News Express on Global TV Abuja, on Star Times Channel 276. And you can follow us across our social media platforms at Global TV NG. Thank you for watching. I am Kemi Ashikun. Enjoy the rest of your evening.